guys, welcome back to video 5 of this eBay series. If you guys are just joining us, please don't watch this video. Go and start with video 1 and work your way through the playlist. All of them are linked down below as well. It's so important to start from the beginning because you may feel like I missed something and I would have addressed it in another video. But also, if you ever have any questions regarding this, leave them down in the comments and I will get back to you in the comments. But this video is all about wholesalers, how I pick my wholesalers, who I personally use. I only have 4. And I will link all of the wholesalers down below so that you can contact them if you want to be added to their list. Your wholesalers are going to make or break your store. This is probably the most important aspect of your store. Actually, I'm not even going to say probably. This is the most important aspect of your store, your wholesalers. And that's because they are the ones delivering the product to you. And if it's not authentic, that'll kill your store. If it's all broken and damaged because they didn't package it right, wholesalers don't offer returns. If something doesn't arrive in good condition, you eat that yourself. They don't say, oh, send it back to me and I'll send it back to the company. No, it doesn't work that way. It is as it is. And, you know, you just have to suffer with that. So when you're picking your wholesalers, I would say the very first mistake people make is they go on websites like Alibaba. Don't do that. Nothing on Alibaba is genuine, and I can say that wholeheartedly. I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, but I saw. No, nothing on Alibaba is genuine. In fact, I remember seeing on Alibaba a Naked 2 palette where they were like, buy 300 Naked 2 palettes for $1,000. Which I was thinking, there's no way that's possible. That's too cheap. 300 at $1,000, that means that they're like $3 each. And even as the company, they can't make it for $3 each. So that's when you end up with product that you know isn't genuine, and if you sell it, people are going, when they buy it, they'll smell the difference. And that's the very first way of knowing whether you have an authentic item or not, is the smell. And you see it happen a lot with MAC items on Amazon and eBay where people complain about the smell. That means it's not a genuine product. So never go to websites like Alibaba because they don't sell genuine product. It's just companies, mostly in China and Vietnam, that rip off the design of the palette and make it look identical and then try to sell it as that, and a lot of people fall for it. So with the companies that I use, the very first one is NewYorkCosmetix. I will link her, or I'll put her email address down below. She is really, really nice. All you have to do is put her email address into an email and just say, please add me to your list, and then every single day she sends out, I would say, between 4 and 6 emails a day, depending on how much product she gets in every day. And she will include pictures, she includes the UPC code, and basically all you have to do is just ask to be added to the list. Another one is a girl named Felecia. She has an email list that I will I'll put her email in, and you do the exact same thing, ask to be added to the list. She also has a website where you can find some items that she has, and it'll have that you can just buy directly right there. They're not the items that she talks about every day in her email list, but they're excess items that she has, and so she puts them in that store and you can buy them right there. There's another girl in the UK, I can't actually remember her name, but I have her email address in my email, and I'll put that down below as well. And that's a great place to get your UK brands. You can also get your bourgeois, you know, French brands like, oh my gosh, Bioderma, stuff like that. But it's really, really important when you're choosing a wholesaler that you do a minimum order from them to make sure that the item arrives, it's authentic, it's packaged properly, so there isn't a lot of damage to the items, because you can't sell the damaged items and you can't return them. So those are costs that you're going to be eating, and you want to make sure that they're doing you right. So do a minimum order first and foremost, and then when if you're picking a wholesaler, these are the ones that I recommend, that I personally like and use. But if you're using a wholesaler that I'm not recommending, I would say you can feel free to ask them questions. So when they send out a thing saying, hey, here's, I've got 2,000 MAC lipsticks in Honey Love, and then the minimum order is 30 pieces. Ask them for the UPC code. You can go online, and I'm going to link this website where you can put it in and it'll tell you what batch it is and when it was made. And that's really, really important because with cosmetics, they do have an expiration date, and you don't want to be paying $5 for 30 MAC lipsticks that are 5 years old. So make sure that you look up the UPC and put it in and check and make sure it's authentic and that it's also in a good date. But yeah, when it comes to wholesalers, you can include things from Alibaba in your store, like makeup brush sets, but just know that they're not going to be the high quality stuff that people want. And that's something I think that a lot of people on eBay, they buy from sites like Alibaba because you can buy cheap and they're available. But when it comes to trying to sell those products, you'll see in their feedback where they say, oh, the brushes, the hair is always coming out, they smell funny. So again, your wholesaler will make or break your store with their product, and you have to make sure it's genuine, that it's a good product, that you yourself would use it. And any beauty lover out there, especially now in the age of YouTube where everybody is so much more skilled at doing makeup than they were 20 years ago, you have to make sure that the items you're selling are of good quality. And picking items just because they're cheap and there's a lot available doesn't necessarily mean that they'll sell well, and it doesn't mean that people will like it once they buy it. I will say, if you want to add things like beauty sponges and stuff like that, you can sometimes find some in bigger orders available, but I still, I mean, I know some people are going to hate that I'm picking on Alibaba, but I just honestly, I would not buy anything from there at all, ever. So really, really think about what you're buying. Also, when it comes to your wholesalers, you can contact some companies and they might sell to you even though you yourself aren't a wholesaler, but typically they won't. So I honestly think that it's a waste of time emailing every single beauty brand out there, when honestly you can just wait for emails from the people listed below, or even, like I said, just go to KCP and she will send the items out that you order right away, and it's faster. You really have to, in this business, figure out what sucks up a lot of time and try to get it to stop sucking up a lot of time. And one of those things would be emailing beauty companies trying to get them to sell to you, because they really won't. And like I said, you might find one or two really small companies that would be willing to, but typically you're not going to find most big brands at all that would be able or be interested in selling small quantities. One thing I want to mention regarding wholesalers before we move into the next video is never, ever, ever screw over your wholesaler. So wholesalers know each other and they talk. And so if you tell a wholesaler you want 200 of the Kim Kardashian fragrances, and then she says, we have your order ready, please pay the invoice, and you don't, she will remove you from your list. And then typically you'll find you'll stop getting emails altogether from your other wholesalers, and it's because wholesalers talk to each other. And so they tell each other, oh yeah, I had this one person named such and such, Donald Duck, and he ordered 200 of the Kim Kardashian fragrances and never paid me, and she thought that you were going to buy them, and so she didn't sell them to anybody else, and that means she is then stuck with 200 Kim Kardashian fragrances. So never screw over your wholesaler. It's not worth it. If you're having an issue, if you said that you wanted to buy something and then having second thoughts, contact them immediately, because they can offer it to someone else. But if they already have it labeled for you, then they're thinking you're going to buy it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about wholesalers. If you guys have any questions, I tried to think of every question you guys could possibly think of regarding this. But if you have any questions, leave it down below on this video, and then that way everybody else is able to see the question and answer, because I'll respond to them all. And let's move into the next video.